they say humans only use 10% of their brains. So, what would happen if one day we could activate 100%? Would we be able to read minds, remember everything, or even control matter with our thoughts? It sounds fascinating, but is it real? Today, let's uncover the truth behind the 10% brain myth and see what would actually happen if humans really used 100% of their brains. The origin of the 10% myth. The legend that we only use 10% of our brains is believed to have originated in the early 20th century. Some psychologists, such as William James, once said, "We are making use of only a small part of our possible mental and physical resources." However, this statement wasn't meant to be taken literally. It referred to human potential for mental development, not to the physical use of only 10% of our neurons. Over time, this idea was misunderstood, spread through word of mouth, and later Hollywood turned it into a superpower concept. Movies like Lucy or Limitless made people believe that if our brains operated at 100%, we would become geniuses or even superhuman. What does science say? In reality, scientists have used fMRI and PET scans to observe brain activity. The result? Almost every part of the brain is used, just not all at once. When you speak, listen, think, dream, move your hands, or recall memories, different regions of your brain light up at different times. For example, as you're reading these words, your language, visual, and memory areas are all working together. No region is left unused. Even when you sleep, your brain stays busy processing information and consolidating memories. So, the idea that we only use 10% of our brains is completely false. In fact, humans use 100% of their brains, just in a sequential, efficient, and flexible way. What if we actually used 100% all at once? Imagine all 86 billion neurons in your brain firing at the same time. Each neuron sends electrical signals, forming thousands of connections, a massive electrical storm inside your skull. The result? Your brain would be overwhelmed. Even now, it already consumes about 20% of your body's energy while only partially active. If every neuron fired simultaneously, the oxygen and glucose demand would exceed what your body could supply. You would likely collapse, or even experience seizures similar to epilepsy. When too many neurons fire at once, the brain doesn't become smarter, it loses control. That's exactly what happens during a seizure, chaotic electrical activity spreading through the brain, causing loss of consciousness. Why doesn't the brain work all at once? The brain isn't an on-off machine, it's more like a symphony orchestra. Each region is an instrument that plays at the right time to create the music of consciousness. If all the instruments played at once, you wouldn't hear music, just noise. Through millions of years of evolution, the human brain has been optimized for balance between performance and energy efficiency. It only activates the areas needed at any given time, and that's exactly what keeps it stable, efficient, and precise. What if the brain evolved further? But what if, in the future, the human brain evolves to form more connections and process information thousands of times faster? We might not use 100% all at once, but each part could become stronger and communicate faster, like upgrading computer hardware. Projects like Neuralink are already exploring ways to connect the human brain with computers, expanding memory and processing capabilities. That's the direction humanity is moving toward, not using 100% of the brain, but enhancing its power. In conclusion, humans are not limited to 10%. We already use the entire brain, each part doing its job every moment. Genius doesn't come from activating 100% of neurons, but from how you train and connect them. Every time you learn something new, your brain creates new connections, and that's how it truly grows stronger. So, if you want to use 100% of your brain, keep learning, practicing, and staying curious every day. Your potential lies not in a magical switch, but in every small connection you build. Humans already use 100% of their brains. We just haven't used 100% of their potential. Learning through questions. Like and subscribe to learn new knowledge every day.